Oh, I think it was pretty evident, that, it was, but the positive of the whole thing is that, we had 2 freshman safeties. You saw our receiver core, and then when you go back and look at that, I mean, man, I thought we had our chance to win the game. We had them on the ropes. They were on their heels. It's a very good football team. It's a playoff team, and they got great athletes. And man, our team went toe to toe, came from behind. They could have. And they got off to such a fast start on us. We didn't look very good, not much energy, and then they converted it, just like young guys do, and they started playing, believing, and then we just didn't keep enough plays going in that third quarter. They made the bomb on us after we should have had the sack. So at the end, there's very positives because of who was out there, but there's a lot of negatives because of getting beat, of course.
Do you think part of Sawyer's problems were the depleted receiver core, quarterback receivers not being on the same page?
Oh yeah, you could see that. You could see that there's some balls thrown to where receivers were supposed to be and weren't there. I think you saw a lot of the routes that you've seen in football, that a lot of those routes were getting caught early in the season, but they were by 6'3" receivers, and when the trajectory of the ball over the top of that makes a difference. But in the end, I thought, you're playing with the guys you play with, so it doesn't matter. And, we still battled and threw for whatever here. What did we throw for? 337 yards. And you saw the receiver core doing it. So you got to take it with an optimistic approach of, it's just a hard pill to swallow when you get the interception, the block punt, and you're in the ball game with momentum. You got to capitalize on that.
Was it, how much of the blitz bothered Sawyer? Looked like they did watching, he just didn't have a lot of time to throw the ball, and look for a guy that might have been open.
Well, usually when you send the house like that, it probably cost him as much every time, because we got some big plays on when you look at the pass interference, and they put themselves at. You can probably look at the odds of that. I don't know if they won the battle in that situation. Maybe they did. But what I remember is the pass interference that kept moving the chains, and had we, it even got us back in the game when we threw it to Roar, because they tried to come after that as well. So you live and die by doing that stuff. But your quarterback is learning as we go, and the receiver core you saw that they were learning today just by being out there. And then we had to use varmint receiver. So, we had to get the speed back out there, so we had to make some adjustments that way. So, and then the Garrett deal hurt us, not having Garrett. But at the same time, those 2 freshmen, and that's why we played them this year.
One of your bright spots, though, was Chad Owens. I thought at the receiving court. Just talk about his performance.
Oh, Chad, Chad's a heck of a player. Chad kind of took it upon his shoulders and got open. I thought David got open a lot. Some of his receptions, so we had to use him in that capacity. But you go back and look at the numbers and who we played, and they're a very good defense. They're a great defense. And if you don't look at the goddamn, that's what I always hate coaching. He says that too. If I look at the stats, it's like, goddamn. But I'm contradicting myself because I hate that. We lost with the players we had, and we have to win with the players we have.
Warren David, he seemed to have a good day running the ball to 118 yards and continued his streak of touchdowns. Why has he been so effective for you guys?
Well, he's a big, strong player, and our offensive line's done a lot better job in the last month of blocking for him. I think everybody knew tonight he was going to run the ball. When they started after it unfolded of what our personnel was, I think everybody knew that we were going to rush the football. So he still got his yards, and actually his ability to run the ball opened up a passing game. When the game was tight, when the game starts getting 2 possessions ahead, then you're limited again to what you can do because you got to get back in it. So with that style, you got to stay in the game. there was a stretch from probably halfway through the first quarter through the fourth quarter, their defense did an outstanding job. But the big play got them at the end of the day.
Did you sense at all, you talked about Black Bears at the beginning, did you sense at all that was gonna be the case before the game, or was it just something that happened?
No, I think it was, you know, you go back to, you know, the guys you practice with and, you know, it's, I don't have an answer for that. It's just that it's, if you don't take the field with the personnel you're looking for, it's kind of, might slow you down a little bit mentally, maybe, I don't know. It shouldn't, because some guys got a chance. But they came out hot, they come out hot against a lot of teams. And then we figured they'd fall off a little bit, which they did, but, you know, they're a heck of a football team. They got some good players.
Mark, where do you go from here? I mean, your program isn't accustomed to having a losing season, that's guaranteed now, so where do you go from here for the last few games?
Oh, I don't see, my approach would be the same. You know, the upside of this whole thing is, think of what those two freshman safeties learned tonight against a good team. Actually, they should walk away after they watch the film with a lot of confidence, because that's as good as receiving quarter will play. 6 and 12, and there's some big players out there that could really run. So they should walk away feeling good about that. Okay, after they see the film, seeing what they gave up by their own error. So when they learn that phase of the game, I think you can apply it, you know, in the future. And they also kind of see how people respond right and wrong. Because sometimes when you have these seasons, they're very effective teaching tools in the off season, particularly younger players, because they watch older players. They won't say much, but they'll watch older players. So they'll learn from some, the good and the bad. They'll learn both ways, and then they'll have to decide which route they take when they get that age.
Coach, you got 3 games left, 2 on the road. You feel confident you can finish this out on a high note?
Oh, I've never not been confident about it. You know, so I don't. We just gotta get lined up. I'm more concerned getting them. Man, it's just hard to get rhythm. Every time we get rhythm, something happens. So we just gotta get the same thing going with a little bit of consistency to it, and that's kind of what we're missing. So I'd like to see that level off and get progression through, kick you through the rest of the season. And we'll have to do it on the road, so, you know, which is fine, but, you know, it's another way to teach these guys. So there's a lot to be learned, Jim.
Thank you, Mark.
You good?